Yo, what's up? My name's RetroPat, and welcome back to my Dungeon Defenders series. Today, this is episode 134 within the series, and I'm going to be doing something kind of special today. Why special, do you ask, for this episode for 134? I don't really have an answer. I think every Dungeon Defenders video should probably be a little special. Today, I'm finally going to be attempting Glitterhelm Cavern's Nightmare Survival. It's something I teased to you guys a little bit a while ago, and I really want to see, can I even beat this actual map? Can I get to wave 25 on Glitterhelm Cavern Nightmare Hardcore Survival? I'm playing on hardcore mode. I don't know. Honestly, I'm totally not sure. But first things first, before I jump into this survival map, I actually want to test something. So there was another update today. I think it was like 9.5.3. There was a big update recently, 9.5, that added the Ruthless game mode. And I just realized last episode, it's too ruthless for me. I'm going to be honest. But what's not too ruthless for me is Nightmare mode. And I was reading through the patch notes, and it seemed like they got rid of the timer on maps without hardcore mode. So I want to see if I read that correctly. So if I load in here, yeah, they totally got rid of the timer on Nightmare difficulty. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm more curious to hear. I consider myself a much newer player. I don't have a super strong opinion on this. If you're a veteran player or you've played for a while, let me know. Like, is this better for the game? Do you think it's better for the new players? You know, better for the old players? You know, I honestly, I don't like to weigh in on things where I don't feel super confident about my experience, that I feel like I deserve to have. Everyone deserves an opinion, but like, I feel comfortable having a strong opinion. So I don't have much of an opinion. I could really see it going either way. Oh, this is good for new players. It feels more welcoming, whatever. The old players saying, oh, you know, I think it's kind of, why kind of do that? What's the point? Does it really make it easier? The time crunch could be a good thing, could make you play a little bit better, tighter, but it could be more stressful. Like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good change or bad change. Let me know your feedback and your opinions in the comments. However, let's get out of this map. We're not here to just play this map on Nightmare. We're here to play it on Nightmare Survival. That's the important part. Nightmare Survival Hardcore. There's a there's like a 100% chance that this episode gets split up into at least 2 episodes, or this challenge gets split up into 2 episodes, but there's a really good chance I just can't beat this, guys. I'm going to try my best. I don't have the best build in mind. I don't really know what I'll be doing. I am going to be playing on hardcore mode in survival, so I shouldn't have a timer here either in survival, which is honestly really nice, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. I like to start out on my monk on a lot of these maps because that's just how unbelievably good aura stacks are. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and run around and like kind of collect some mana. Probably head over to this. I'll probably start building over here first things first, and I'll see you guys with my strategy. All right, all the chests acquired over here. I'm gonna go ahead and just build a pretty simple aura stack. I think right here, actually, yeah, up forward a bit. And then I can go ahead and place towers actually defending this zone a little bit further back. I think having it a little further up is totally fine, as long as it's just outside of the range of the, yeah, perfect. So they won't get, slowed. You don't want to actually slow minions at the door, because then it just kind of makes it harder to actually kill them, because you can't do damage to them until they walk out of that little half sphere. So that area should be set up there pretty quickly. I'm gonna go do aura stacks at every zone. We're gonna be switching around to a lot of different characters on wave 1 as well to get the the best setup we possibly can. This is a zone that causes me some of the most trouble. I usually go ahead and place it like a little further back, honestly, this aura stack, but I might bump it up a little bit here. I don't know if I'll have enough. I don't think I've ever played this map this seriously. I've done speed runs of the summit on Nightmare, like the actual just storyline mode. I don't think I've ever done this mode in, like, I don't think I've ever done survival. Yeah, no, sorry. Just straight up, period. I've never, ever played or really done survival of Glitterhelm Cavern. So this is my first time ever playing this map on survival, let alone on Nightmare difficulty and all these other things. I could stomp it, and it honestly could be easy peasy. I don't think so. I'm really scared for this map, guys. This might be one of the hardest maps, one of the biggest challenges I'll have to face, but we'll have to really just see. For the most part, I'm just putting aura stacks at every major choke point now, and this is something I don't normally do. I don't know if I've ever, actually, yeah, I don't know if I've ever built aura stacks on. I don't think I have on this map, which is something funny to consider, or at least not to this degree. Not that I remember. Right over here should be around the last aura stack. I could actually probably go ahead and put it here. Yeah, I actually really like that. Well, no, should I just go ahead and dedicate 2 spots? I could put it here. I like this. I feel like that should hit the range that I'm looking for. So I'm trying to hit this walkway, but also hit this staircase. I feel like that actually works. I feel like this should be fine. I might have to actually change this if it's not strong enough. There will also be wyverns coming in over here, which is really something to keep an eye out for. So let me make sure I grab this chest really quick. We're down to around 300 mana. I built an aura stack at every location I feel like I need it, which is really, really nice, honestly. But I had to build more stuff. I'm at 300 mana down. Okay, let's go ahead and head over. Actually, I'm mistaken. There actually is. Well, actually, I probably don't need an aura stack here. The only thing that comes for this crystal is wyverns that come from over in this direction. So what I'm probably going to do is just set up. I have to make sure I build an archer there with my summoner, or I'm actually trolling. So let me make sure I go ahead and get that set up ASAP. Because without that archer there, we probably just hard lose. All right, here we go. Right over here. I think I just put it in front, honestly. Give it more range. Often I would put it behind. I don't mind putting one behind as well. There's not really a reason not to. It also helps protect if something, I don't know, bad happens here. It's honestly not a bad idea to just go ahead and place one archer at essentially, or archers at essentially every crystal just for this first little wave here. I kind of like that. I have one archer here. That's my DPS. I guess the biggest thing or most difficult thing about this map is that it's just so large and there are so many choke points. It was a huge problem during the actual, like trying to beat this map for the non-nightmare difficulty for the first time with the storyline, is like, if that crystal, for example, becomes under attack, I kind of just lose. Like, there's not really, to be able to actually get over to that location quick enough to be able to support it is really, 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 really hard. So usually you kind of just don't make it and you kind of just lose. But here we are, wave 1. I guess we start on wave, I just realized actually, we start on wave 5, hilariously. 5 out of 25. And I think I clicked wave 1, so this is just like all I could start at the earliest or whatever. Thankfully, I think we do enough damage to that Jinn. Okay, whew. The spider there, though, is causing some problems, so we can take care of him. I don't know, it probably wasn't worth to be on my monk here. I wanted to be on my monk to give my auras the actual bonus from the damage bonus for them actually being on the map. A lot of mana over here, wow. I'll probably actually have to pump upgrades. I wasn't planning on pumping upgrades this soon, but I need the open mana to be able to collect stuff. Why not? Sure. I don't want any mana to go to waste. You know, that's going to be super important here. Mana efficiency in these early waves is pretty much everything. It's the main efficiency you can really focus on. Go grab this mana crystal. Boom. Okay. Wow. That was really easy. That was definitely really easy, but I'm sure it'll crank up in difficulty pretty aggressively. Wave 6 here. I'm going to head over. No timer, thankfully. We're just getting our build started. I'm gonna switch here. Our monk, we're totally good on our monk. I'm either gonna switch here to, ooh, I do want to do my mage here. Either mage or summoner here, honestly. Could be either or. I think setting up some lightning towers first with the mana that I have is gonna be honestly way more effective and way more helpful than worrying about other things right now. So let's go ahead and do that. 120 per. I am gonna have to switch my summoner to set up a wall though with my lightning tower here, to be fair, to actually protect them. So that'll be something I do pretty soon. I think I'm going to set up 2 over here. Maybe I only need 1. I'm not going to be totally sure. Ooh, mythicals? Okay, mythicals purely is really nice, I will say. That is better than I expected. I'm going to pump some upgrades here since there's mana over here, and I don't want to have to come back if possible. At least to the best of my ability. Yeah, pure mythicals on wave 6. This, I might get some crazy upgrades from this. This might actually, these drops might get intense by the time we reach like wave 15 to 20 and even 20 plus. Yeah, these drops might get crazy. Okay, once again, back to our center here. I'm going to go ahead and set up just more lightning towers. I want to make sure I see where these kind of end. I want to be able to draw these into the booster beam. I probably end up putting this around this corner. I kind of like that. I like putting the lightning towers around the corners so that the mobs don't have an easy time reaching them. I kind of really like that strategy, to be totally honest. I think, honestly, just these 2 here is probably all I need. 1 over in this area is also probably all I need for the time being. I'm at 93 out of 165. I'm going to put this pretty far back. Well, this is a tough one. I want this one far back enough that it's not getting swung at by the ogres, but I don't want the ogres to be able to cleave the crystal as well. I guess just here. This is not a great... There's no... Maybe over here, and then, or here. There's not great positioning on this map. Maybe right there is the best, and then just making sure I have guys in front here is going to be super crucial. Let's open these chests. Once again, just 4 mythicals per chest, guaranteed. There's 2, okay. Or wait, it's only because 2 things drop from that chest. Ah, okay, I see. I'm trying to make sure I leave enough defense units for the Series EV, but I'm probably kind of leaving too much. I probably should actually be building way more lightning towers. I also do want to go ahead and build, for the first time, I think it'll be good to do on this map. I think building some... Should I build these up here? Will they actually just loop around? I think building these here is better. Doing one there, one there. I think that'll be good. I think building deadly strike towers. I don't know if that'll be worth it, but I don't know. I just have an inkling. I have an inkling. People have been saying that it's really good to build these. I think if I'm going to ever build these, it's on this map. Now, I don't know how far they can shoot through things. I feel like they have kind of a cone projectile. Yeah, it shows a very cone-style projectile. I don't know what that entails exactly. I go ahead and place this like here facing this way. I'm going to try this and see how I can always, you know, sell it off or get rid of it if I need to. Face one looking this way as well. I think this way has some major issues. We have a ton of mana still to pick up from chests and stuff, it seems like. Okay, that's pretty damn good on defense units. I'll actually leave the rest for my Series EV. I'm going to drop my mana, switch over to my Summoner, and crank out a ton of builds right now on him. Also, leaving defense units for my Hermit's Web Wall. I really have fallen in love with the Web Wall. I think it's a super good tower. I think switching over to my Hermit, even upgrading my Hermit just for that, seems wildly worth it to me. I am going to put a pretty aggressive wall here of archers since, once again, this area is so far from the rest of the map that I really do want it to be protected as much as possible. And I want it to be kind of like, you know, self-sufficient, essentially, so that if I don't have to come over here to ever help it. So I think that will be pretty good. Do I want to put an extra guy over here in case the wyverns are super strong? I don't know how strong they'll truly be. I think leaving usually just one of these guys is plenty, but I'm going to keep an eye out on that because that could also be a massive mistake on my part and be a really dumb way to lose. Heading back over here, we're at 52 out of 165. I don't want to crank through these minion units too quickly. That's a really easy mistake, is to just, you know, fill up every little space here with these units and then not leave any to actually like disperse them out over different zones. So I'm going to head over here. Right here at the bottom of this staircase, make them face. I don't know if I don't think the way they face like matters much at all. I don't know if there's that I guess the turn time technically could matter, but that's reaching levels of micro efficiency I don't even care about, honestly. The day I lose a map because my archer was busy spending the time turning around to look at the minions to actually shoot them, you know, maybe then I'll stew on that, but that seems pretty far in the future, hopefully. All right, I thought about it a bit, and I feel like I do have enough extra minion units to go ahead and summon a mage minion over in this zone. He'll be able to, they actually do damage. I don't know why. I didn't realize the mage minion does actually get to throw out an attack. I don't know why in my head I just thought, oh, all he does is heal. You know, all he does is be able to heal, and that's it. It's all he ever gets to do. I don't think it's true. I think he gets to actually throw off an attack. That's what it seemed like from the comments I was receiving. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and put a spider over here. I guess it's a little awkward / strange, but sure. Now I'm sitting here. I still have a fair 7-10 mana, a fair bit. I'm gonna switch over to the Series EV. Now it's booster beam time. We have a lot of stuff set up though. We're pretty close to being done. All right, first things first. Let's start in the like far quadrant over here. I'm trying to zoom in. I can't really zoom in much more than that, unfortunately. It seems like. Can I do this in 4? I think I gotta be able to, right? Let me get his. If I hit his foot, and then no, that's gonna need 5. No, there's just no way. To be fair. That's going to need 5, yeah. It's going to be a little funny not being able to like touch the lightning towers with the buff beams, but I feel like this is going to be the best way to help to protect them. I could be wrong. Maybe it is worth it just go ahead and build the mini ones for the maybe it's that good, like for the lightning towers, but hopefully, I mean, it is pretty good, to be fair. Same thing over here. Let's kind of just nab his foot a little bit. I don't think that, once again, just enough archer minions to need to pay 5 defense units. That's okay. We're at 140 out of 165. Same thing over here. I kind of want to go ahead and do this, though. This is worth it. You know, pay the extra 1 defense unit to be able to actually grab that lightning tower in the boost as well. And over here off in this section over to the east, I guess there is kind of like an east, west, north, and then middle section of this map is probably the best way to describe them. Through here as much as possible. You can just do that in 5. Defense units? Sure. There we go. All right, 151 out of 165. This is actually going to end up being kind of perfect, honestly. Ooh, can I actually... This might be a 4-1. I think... Yes, just barely. You love to see it. You love to be slightly efficient and save 1 defense unit, because why not? It feels good to do so. Same with... Right. Perfect. 4 defense units right on that wall. Perfect. I've got a few left. Can't really grab these, can I? Let's see. Is this going to hit the mage? I don't think so. I don't think he's being buffed, but always kind of tough. I don't think so. But you know what? Maybe it's worth to just have these on there. Actually, if this is my as my last As my last tower buff beam, do I really want it over here? Probably not. I probably want them on the lightning towers over in the middle section. If I'm being honest with myself, let's see if I can. Ooh, maybe I should. No, that's fine. That fits. Okay, sure, we can do that. Well, if I lower it to 4, I think I can do a web wall. So let me switch. This is hilarious, but I think it's worth it. I'm gonna switch over to my mage minion, essentially just to sell this deadly strike tower, to move it over a little bit more, like this. Sell this, move this over a little bit more right here, so I can have the tower buff beam hit both of these, and then I can also build a web wall. Nice, perfect. All right, so 159 out of 165. Here is the... Ooh, come on, do it for 4. Perfect. And now we have 2 defense units left. It's absolutely... I don't know where I'm putting this web wall, and I don't know if it's worth it, but we're doing it. We've got the defense unit. You know, we perfectly planned it out to allow this, so now we have to, right? I think generally this spot absolutely sucks. So since I know this spot like sucks and is really hard to defend... Oh, that is a really small wall, to be fair. Let's do here to here. Sure. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see if this works. This might be trolling, might be bad. We'll see if they just attack. I don't think they attack the web wall. I don't think they actually can / ever do. All right, we are at essentially max defense units and max minion units. So now I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my summoner. I'm then going to... I could switch to my jester and play like the upgrade jester out, but it's not really strong enough. So I'm now going to crank out all my heroes, get everybody on the map, have tons of fun. The more, the merrier, and then we'll start the wave. All right, we are ready, folks. Here's our 3 little gamers out here chilling. They're not really going to be doing much or helping much, but I'm going to be on the summoner right here. I do have some extra mana, so I'll go ahead and put the upgrades that I can, but spiders are going to be trying to jump on me a little bit, it seems. I want to watch this deadly strike tower. So, wow. Yeah, this thing... Okay, the deadly strike tower turns out is quite deadly and strikes. Who would have thought? This thing is shooting... minions over here doing insane damage. I didn't know it could shoot through the wall like this. This thing is... Okay. Once again, you learn something new every day. What a much stronger and much more effective tower than I realized. That is... I definitely should be building strike towers. I know... It turns out, once again... Retro Pat, you should have listened to your YouTube comments. Oh, what a shocker. It always surprises me. But, turns out they're very, talented, educated dungeon defenders, if you ask me. There we go. Wave complete. Super easy. Wave 6 out of 25. We have a long way to go still. Don't you worry. We got a lot of time to spend together. Thanks for watching once again. Like the video if you're enjoying it. Gotta weave that in there really quick. Other than that, I am going to... Since I'm not familiar with the map, I am going to take the time to actually go ahead and collect all the chests, collect all the mana, and pump upgrades. If I was more familiar and a little more greedier and, arrogant, I would have gone ahead and just... Control G into the next wave, speed run, but I'd rather play it safe. Okay, hear me out. I really want this mana, so I'm gonna try. Okay, I couldn't even. I thought I could like jump, collect it, and then die, and maybe gather it, but nope, wasn't even close. All right, I took my time. I spent my mana. I can go ahead and jump into the next wave now. Just the bottom right corner, you should be able to see the mana that I actually gained from all the weapons and stuff being consumed there. 10 million, a measly 10 million nowadays. That's kind of just chump change, but that's okay. I'm going to get an upgrade on this hermit wall because why not? I don't really see it that much. Look at the upgrade while I can. Dude, I'm really loving these deadly strike towers. I feel like these are actually... the MVPs. It's just the 2 that I have built are just doing so much damage. I actually should check to be able to check their straight up stats. Being able to check tower stats to be able to see like how much of an impact they're having on a map is so cool. Like, I don't know, that's such an underrated, little quality, like not even quality of life, but just like massively helpful thing. To have statistics and to have data is power. And the fact that the devs took that time to do that is just so amazing in my opinion. Let's see this ogre going down. So many games don't do that. So many games don't empower their players by giving them the data. So many games will keep that data private, hidden, developer side only because they want to be able to balance things or adjust things or whatever. And I get that. I honestly understand that point of view, but it can't help. I can't help but just get giddy and happy and excited that Dungeon Defenders is so overwhelmingly transparent about their data, and I think that's so cool to me. All right, the upgrades have been divvied. Let's go ahead and press Control G, jump into our next wave, wave 8 out of 25. Look how many minions were actually like killed so quickly before that, like just as that wave was really starting. I am almost reaching a point. I might Control G through a few waves. This might be silly. I've actually come over here and actually pumped some upgrades onto this archer. He kind of did just one-shot this wyvern, to be fair, so maybe this is actually kind of a waste, but that's okay. Just a few upgrades here and there on these two archers. Why not? I'm going to head over here, get some more upgrades out here. I do want to get upgrades on especially the auras. The aura stacks are super important. I think upgrading the strength drain aura, upgrading the ensnare aura, making everything slower, it's so much more manageable. Upgrading the aura stacks really does, I feel like, allow all of the other towers to succeed so much better. Similar, very, very similar in my opinion to upgrading the tower buff beam. Like I'm going to do right now over to that one. So right there, 1-star upgrade there. We're going to grab whatever mana. This section is done. And I think as soon as this wave ends, this might be greedy. This might be silly. But I think I'm going to enter a point where it's going to be mostly okay. Hopefully, actually, ooh, when I see my aura stacks at these amounts of HP, then I kind of, I don't know, I'm a little less comfortable. I kind of want to just press Control G here and jump into the next thing, honestly. But now I'm seeing towers. I think saving time is honestly really, really valuable to me right now. Especially given how busy, like my IRL schedule is extremely busy right now. So because my IRL because of my IRL schedule is so busy, I'm gonna play loose and greedy in Dungeon Defenders. So don't do what I do. We're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna see how this plays out. I might regret this. Okay, I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna press Control G. We're gonna go to the next wave. I'm gonna run around and grab every chest that I possibly can that I haven't grabbed already. That's gonna be super important to grab all that mana. Ground mana can be picked up in a second. But these chests can only be opened when they can, obviously. So if these minions are defeated before I open these chests, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. I'm going to come grab this. There are a lot of goblin copters coming in. I'm actually getting a little bit of game lag, too, because of just how intense and how many mobs are coming in. I want to get an upgrade off on this strength drain aura as soon as possible, because that one's taking a lot of damage. I really don't want anything to go down. If any aura goes down, it obviously goes ahead and is going to destroy my tower buff beam, which would be absolutely dead. I'm going to phase out here, so I'm in a pretty sticky situation. I'm going to run over to the chest, phase back in, and then pop it open, run over to this corner, if possible here, phase back out. Beautiful, perfect. There is an aura stack that is in the red. I'm going to run to that as soon as possible right here. It's in the red. It's very, very low. Where's it at? Over here, over here. I think it's less low than it came off. Honestly, no, it is kind of quite low. I'm going to phase in. No, yeah, that one's honestly quite low. I'm going to go for an upgrade there. It's about 20%, maybe 30% HP. Yeah, so it honestly was a bit greedy to go ahead and do this, but I think it should save enough time to where it's probably worth it. Okay, wave complete. That's 9, but that was legit. Like I had some problems. My aura stacks were taking a lot of damage, really just HP things. I could go out and flash heal, honestly. It's not the worst decision in the world. This time, we're at wave 10. This is a difficulty spike. I'm taking my time. I'm going to grab every chest. I'm going to upgrade if possible. I'm not Control G in here, guys. Once again, this far north section, taking little bits of chip damage all over the place here and there. Honestly, man, I might want to move my mage minion. So I built that mage minion over at that... I think bottom, where actually is that on the map? If I think about it, is it southwest? It's so hard for me to picture the quadrants. I think maybe, I don't know if it's southwest or southeast quadrant, but I built that over there. It honestly, this might be the perfect section for the mage minion instead. Having it over here in this farthest section to where it's really difficult to support. If I can't get here to heal it, at least the mage minion could kind of do my job for me. I really like the idea of that, honestly. I'll probably make that switch here when possible. I'm pretty sure I haven't pumped... Yeah, I was going to say many upgrades, if any, into it. So thankfully, I can actually just sell that minion, yeah, for like almost no downside at all. I'll rebuild him over in that far section to allow me to kind of take care of this section a lot more focused. All right, here we go. Mage minion can now be moved successfully over here. I think it'll be kind of... I could technically build a different minion here. I have the units for it, but I like the mage over here. I think it's the perfect, honestly, fit. I'll go ahead and pump some upgrades into him as well, because why not? Pump some upgrades. Honestly, I probably should be focusing more mana and more upgrades over into this section, honestly, just more often. But here we go. Jumping into wave 10. This is a massive power spike difference. So this will be a very telling sign. How comfortably can I beat this map? Or how comfortably can I beat this wave? Is going to be telling for the rest of the entire rest of the map. The other 15 waves still left to accomplish. I'm going to go grab all of this mana. Ooh, I am actually putting myself in a little bit of danger there. A little too much damage for my liking. An ogre could just, two-shot me pretty easily. Picked up some really nice amounts of mana there, though, so honestly, it's super worth it. Put some upgrades into these lightning towers. Some of the wyverns are coming. I'll get some little, little mana from them. Why not? Go ahead and abuse that since I'm over in this direction. Okay, let's dodge the sharkins and stuff. I kind of want to phase out here. It's a little, a little too safe, honestly, but I'm okay with this. Actually, wow, why are these taking so much? Something I'm noticing is just that, yeah, my aura stacks are just taking so much HP. They're getting drained. Wow, what? Look at this. How are all my aura stacks? Do I need to pump flash shields? Are they just hitting behind the half circles? Are they hitting the minions when they can't even deal damage to them? I don't know what exactly is causing. I just took a lot of damage there. What are these ogres at HP wise? I didn't really get a chance to see. They are kind of draining my towers, guys. I don't know if I need to just be popping off flash shields. There's a spider coming towards me as well. I probably should have got there, to be honest. I probably should have gotten punished. I'm going to be super honest. Okay, all the mana possible. I think I'm being a little too focused in one section. Let me grab all this mana. I'm going to phase out. Okay. We're going to head over to... I need to watch out for sections that are getting drained. I feel like the HP pools on these are getting a little hurt. It's kind of, do I need to upgrade the HP on my monk's tower stats? I would have never thought about having to do that for like this kind of level of gameplay. I wouldn't think that. I always think like, oh, the further you get in the game, the less you need that HP, because if you just kill stuff fast enough, why do you need HP on your towers? The best defense is the best offense kind of situation. But okay. We'll take that. I think 3-starring all of my aura stacks might become super, super important. There's actually such a shocking... I feel like I say this every time, but there's such a shocking amount of mana on the ground. It's kind of... that is one of the best feelings in DD, is like scaling up with the levels and just getting the right amount of mana to actually support the massive amounts of builds you need in these sort of sections. So let's go ahead and use this and pump this into... I have a tower buff beam over here. Let's just grab the mana. I'm down. Let's just grab the mana to get a 3-star on this tower buff beam. That'll make me feel a lot better, a lot safer. Get 1-stars on each of these archers, which are going to heal them up really quick and also give us some extra support over here. Once again, I want to focus upgrades over in this far quadrant, because if one place, needs to be protected, I don't want to have to come protect this place. So let me dump whatever I can into it so I just don't have to deal with it. I'm basically putting more mental energy into this now, so I don't have to put more mental energy into this north quadrant during the build phase, so I don't have to put it in during the combat phase. All right, we keep it going. Wave 11. Here we go. I'm going to press Control G. For those who don't know, normally, continue into a wave, you press G, but if you have a bunch of other heroes on the map at once, you press Control G to essentially initiate the wave for all of them. That's it. You probably all know this if you're watching this, but just in case you didn't, you hear me say Control G a ton? That's why. Let's go grab all this mana. That's a ton of mana, actually. But there's also a little ninja guy and a spider right in front of me who almost kind of... like, if that combo gets me, I'm probably just dead. So that was probably close to me dying there, but that's why I love that. Dude, the phase out, oh my God, it just gets you out of so many situations. You can be a little goofball, put yourself in sticky situations, and then just phase out. It's easy peasy. So many more minions, by the way. 1,500 already. We slowly, like... not slowly. We quickly, aggressively crept up from like 92 minions in that first wave, right? 92 minions, nothing. Absolutely, child's play, right? So all of a sudden, 6 waves later, we started at wave 5, is what it started me at. 6 waves later, that's actually nuts. You ramp from 92 minions spawning, and then 6 waves later, you're at 1,500. How is that? What is that propelling? That's crazy. It's like, what a wild ramp. Even with the 3-star upgrades as well, look at these auras. Like, these auras are being drained, even with the 3 stars. So this is definitely gonna be a high maintenance map where I'm just constantly going around and healing stuff, probably popping off flash heals wherever I need to. Like, a high maintenance map. This will never be that AFKable, unfortunately, but hopefully the rewards are worth it to where it's totally fine. Honestly, the XP and mana and stuff hasn't been as good as I thought it would be. And I feel like I feel like I still am not strong enough to control G here. I feel like I do actually kind of need to take my time and pump these upgrades. So high maintenance map so far, not the best rewards. Hopefully it gets better as time goes on. Maybe honestly, arguably, to be fair, I do think this is a map that I could decently speedrun, or maybe I should just do that with Dread Dungeon. Maybe the idea of speedrunning Dread Dungeon Survival and kind of seeing how loose I could play with that now that I've done it so many times, that is something interesting to me. The idea of speed, survival is a very long-term game mode, but the idea of trying to speedrun it, I could probably do it in about 1 to 2 hours. Like, wave 25 Dread Dungeon, like I think 1 to 2, I think it's possible. I think usually I do 3 hours. If I could shave off a whole hour for that amount of XP, it'd be really good, honestly. Here's the remnants of the North Quadrant at, once again, just wave 11. This is quite a bit of damage. It's nothing threatening, but like this could ramp up. If this is what it's at wave 12, think about it at wave 24. Am I gonna have to go flash heal at least every single tower section at least once throughout the wave? The waves go pretty fast. That might legit be a problem. All right, but there we go. I think that's everything. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the next wave 12 here. Once again, the combat waves actually go through pretty quickly. I spend way more of my time on the build phases, just strategizing, making sure I'm as efficient as I possibly can and get in every little upgrade I possibly can. These are both, I think both these towers are 0 upgraded. It's just that this tower buff beam is 3 levels upgraded, but everything else there is actually 0. So I probably should go ahead and put the love into that. Let's see. Yeah, these are, both these. Both this lightning tower and these could both get some support. Okay. Let's go ahead and first things first, get enough mana to get 3 stars on our auras, because once again, it's really the biggest concern that I have right now is the aura stacks. And I feel like they're getting drained so much because they are kind of in positions where they're hitting the minions in the spawn, which is just not ideal, honestly. So it's kind of a mistake on my end. Look at that Goblin Copter coming in, dropping off an absolute bomb threat, and then piecing out. This part is 3-starred. This part is not. This section needs 3-starred for sure. They're totally getting drained by the minions over there behind their actual spawn door. So I've got to keep an eye out for that. I'm going to pop off some heals here while I can. Grab whatever mana I can. Such a high action, high graphical map that there is a fair bit of lag, to be totally honest. Rocking the GTX 3050, not an amazing graphics card, but feels pretty good to me. I'm very, very happy with it. It could be a lot worse. I grew up with not great computer hardware, so this to me feels like a supercomputer. I'm going to head over here, pop an upgrade as I'm passing by, but not stick around for too long because that ogre swing could really smack me up. But look at this section, taking a lot of damage, way too much damage, way more than I can actually afford. I'm at 580 mana. If I can get enough more for one more 3-star, I will put it in that aura stack area right there. This section's not really taking nearly as much damage because once again, its aura stacks isn't hitting minions that are behind their spawn door, whereas this one definitely is. So go ahead and 3-star that. And then I'll become a lot more comfortable popping off those flash heals. A few upgrades on these archers because why not? I'm going to watch this ogre die and then head over to that north quadrant and give a little bit extra support. Perfect. Grab whatever blue crystals I can. Ooh, spider on me. Okay. I don't think... Ooh, that did a fair amount of damage. More damage than I expected as well. Around 6k damage or so just from that one spider attack. Head over here. Now talk about an area that needs 3-star auras, fellas. Here we go. Let's give this north quadrant some love. Let's get enough mana to hopefully get that upgrade as well. Hopefully. Well, there's the wave complete, so not quite enough mana here. I think I'm going to have to heal one, but I'm still going to try to upgrade the other. There should be enough mana from these chests to hopefully be able to do that. Ooh, maybe not actually. Yeah, I'll have to get mana and come back, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, heal the cheaper one to heal. Ooh, wrong one, but that's okay. We'll heal both, go grab mana, and possibly come back to this section. All right, we grabbed all the mana on the map possible, and I made it back to at least upgrade one of these. I'm not going to be able to upgrade all 3 of them quite yet into 3-stars, but it'll be happening very, very soon. But I am actually now finally ready to just go ahead and jump into wave 13 out of 25. All right, wave 13, here we come. I'm really excited for, honestly, like wave 15. I think wave 15 is where we reach such a massive power spike difference that it's possible I fail. It's crazy to think that the possibility of me failing is probably going to come from one of my aura stacks going down. It's really important to ask yourself when playing Dungeon Defenders, hey, how do I lose? What's the most likely thing that could happen that could snowball me into a loss? And I think on this map, it's probably being a little lazy, not paying enough attention, and just letting one of my aura stacks go down. And then that would take down my series, my tower buff booster and all these other things. And then that creates a big problem. That creates a massive, massive, massive problem. So that's the thing I'm the most, is honestly just like this center, for example, this center area is taking so much. I should honestly go ahead and get buffs on this tower buff beam. It wasn't even 1-starred. That's actually kind of crazy. So I'm gonna get this tower buff beam 3-starred as soon as possible here. But oh, this ogre, I'm kind of right on top of it. A little greedy for me from standing right in front of that ogre like that and just giving that upgrade without even phasing out was pretty greedy by me. We're gonna get heals here once again, since the main concern is having those wear out. I don't know if this web wall is doing much. I feel like things are mostly dying before getting to it, but I don't know if most of that matters, honestly. I'm going to run out and just grab heals. Once again, just healing is the best thing I feel like I could be doing at the moment. And once again, I'm really excited for wave 15. Wave 15 is really going to be the decider of this map, and especially wave 15 and 20. Those power spikes are just so... It's crazy, like... You could go from stomping waves 10 through 14 and then hit wave 15 and then just get stomped in a heart. It's the power level difference is so insane, I feel like. It's just really what makes or breaks the whole map. Heading over to our slightly weaker quadrant. I shouldn't say weaker quadrant. Our quadrant that is farther away and therefore harder to manage. I'm going to go get a 3-star upgrade on the last. That's perfect. 3-star upgrades on all of those. I'm going to grab those heals. I'm honestly surprised I didn't take more damage there. So now all 3 of these are 3-starred. Our mage is actually kind of popping off, getting some really good heals on our archers. I really like that. It's doing great work there. Yeah, whatever. Huge mana here. Getting tons of fat upgrades, honestly, on things because of all the mana drops over here. So much. Look at that. From like 0 mana there, or 400 or so, up to 1600 in like 2 seconds or less. 2 seconds or less flat. Sure, we'll get a 3-star upgrade here on that lightning tower to help us continue to grab more mana to come pick it up. 1,800 minions defeated out of around 2,000 or so. I bet this quadrant is kind of whittling down. Probably not too much more mana I can pick up from over here. I might have to leave in a second. Yeah, this is probably like the last work. A few more goblins, a few stragglers. Only 50 or so minions left in total on the map. They do get defeated really, really quickly, honestly. I'll get full heals over here before leaving. The section is pretty well upgraded. I don't feel like I need to actually pump upgrades over here. I think just healing everything is good enough. I'll heal everything here, grab the chest, and then I can actually go do upgrades and heals over in the center and, southeast and southwest quadrants. Okay, I mentioned this before, but neither of these towers actually have any upgrades, so I'm going to go ahead and at least get like level 1s and 2s, I think, on the Deadly Strike. It really wants me to level up the tower buff beam, so you know what? Since the game wants me to level it up so bad, I know it's so good. I know, like, upgrading the tower buff beam affects, that amount of damage increase when you're affecting 2 towers versus just upgrading 1 is so significant. I get it, but it's nice to upgrade everything at least to a few levels. We'll go grab whatever chest possible. Check the HPs and stuff over here. How are these? Honestly, these auras are doing really, really well. There's not any minions that are like getting stuck in them in their door spawns, so it's not wasting or draining any HP from them without actually having any sort of effect. So I love the positioning from these aura stats. I think they're doing a really, really good job. I do want a few more upgrades on these archers. Like, this could legit not be enough damage. You can upgrade on this lightning tower. Tons of upgrades pumped around wherever possible. Still a chest over here that I actually almost forgot. We'll go grab really quickly. Then moving over to this is our southwest. This wyvern section with the lava wooden bridge. I'm gonna try to remember that's the southwest quadrant, and then southeast is over here. Grab that really quick. How are the aura stats? I think also over here the aura stats are honestly quite healthy. Yeah, they're not even like 1-starred, and their HP is totally fine. They're totally fine. Okay, last few upgrades right here really quick. All right, and now we're ready to go and jump into wave 14, fellas. Here it is. Bottom right-hand corner, see the mana consumed. We're at 11 or 12 million or so XP gain. 52 million. That's pretty good. 52 million mana, honestly, from wave 14 is like really, really solid. That's much more than I would normally expect. I do want to check XP on the whole party. So, dudes, I am currently, yes, this is going to be the map where I reach level 90 on my monk, which I am so floored. I'm so floored, ridiculously, disgustingly excited. I'm going to be able to equip. Also, wait a minute. I should be using these other heroes to spam upgrades because they have 1,800 mana, max mana just sitting on them. Let me go ahead and do that. Look, I'll do that off screen so it's not as, gross looking at for you guys. But essentially, I'm going to be able to equip my first ever ultimate gear in Dungeon Defenders really, 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 really soon, which I'm super, super excited for. Once again, look at this aura stack over here. It's like literally in the red. I'm kind of neglecting. Also, this one over here, I might just pop a flash heal. Yeah, since I don't have the mana for a flash heal. Both of these auras just in like disgusting levels of red HP. Hey, but that's okay. Hey, 1 HP is still enough HP, okay? It's not dead. It didn't actually go down. We're about to go ahead and beat the We're about to go ahead and beat the wave. We're, you know, 5 more minions or so. We're basically there. There we go. Huge, massive. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this chest right here. And this is going to be... Ooh, we get a wave 15 reward. I almost forgot. Wait, we got Spanky for good old Spanky for our wave 15. Just meeting wave 15 reward. This is where the difficulty... I'm nervous, guys. I'm like kind of sweating bullets. I'm nervous. This is where the map... I mean, if I'm being totally honest, this is where this map really begins. At wave 15. At this power spike. And we might be able to... I'm feeling decently good about wave 15 to 20, but even that I could see us losing on. It might be a little... I might be a little too brave. But wave 20 to 25 is going to be an actual challenge. And if you guys want to see that challenge, make sure to like this video and subscribe to see it finished in around 2 days or so. I upload Dungeon Defenders content every 2 days at the moment, and I love doing it. I love you guys watching. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of fun. This game's amazing, and it's only $10. I haven't really mentioned this, but it's only $10 right now on Steam. You can get Dungeon Defenders plus all of the DLC. All of it for $10. Also, next episode, if I can beat wave 15, I'll also be achieving wave 90 on my monk. So much massive stuff is going to happen next episode. I hope you guys will join me. I will see you guys later. For now, though, have a great day. Peace, Areno. Yo, thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video, and a huge shout out to everybody listed here who goes above and beyond, supports the Patreon, and allows me to focus more on Dungeon Defenders content. Thanks again. Have a great day.